Hi, I'm attorney Nick Alcock, and if you or a loved one are facing sex charges, sex-related charges, sexual conduct with a minor, you have rights. The Constitution affords you rights. I want to educate you a little bit about what your rights are, and we have represented many people who are innocent of these charges, and it's heartbreaking to see people who are completely innocent of charges get arrested and have their lives ruined and go through all this stress because someone's making an allegation. And this is why it's so vital at the front end of these cases to understand what your rights are and to protect yourself. We've represented many clients who have been going through divorce proceedings, and an allegation is made of sexual conduct with a minor really as a function of the divorce proceedings. And we have actually proven that, in fact, the allegation is a lie. We have seen all manner of cases where provably later we can prove that this allegation is fundamentally untrue. Either the person wasn't in town at the time the allegation was made, or there's video evidence that suggests otherwise, etc. So if you are facing sex charges, please understand that we understand that not everyone who's charged with a sex crime is guilty of a sex crime. Irrespective of that, and whether or not you're guilty, there is a huge range of outcome in these cases. Arizona has some of the most punitive, the harshest, the strictest laws when it comes to any type of sex assault, especially sexual conduct with a minor. So if you're in that type of situation, you deserve representation. You deserve to not have your life be completely ruined over this type of charge. So the advice that I'm going to give you at the very beginning applies for both situations, and it's advice that is certainly valuable. You need to know that detectives many times will call and they'll say things like, well, we just want to clear the air. We just want you to, tell your side of the story. That's not what a detective does. That's not their job. That's not what they're paid to do. What they're paid to do is get people to confess, investigate cases, talk to suspects, ideally get a confession out of a suspect, complete the investigation, arrest the suspect, turn them over to the prosecutor, have the person be incarcerated. That's the idea of what they do. So if they're talking to you and you're a suspect, realistically, there are not too many detectives who will do favors for people or say, just tell me your side of the story and we'll go easy on you, that type of thing. So number one is don't fall for that. You have constitutional rights. You can always say, I want to speak with my attorney before I speak to you. There's nothing wrong with you saying that. It can't be used against you. However, it's a little bit trickier than that because many times they will enlist people to call and do confrontation calls. So the call will be from the alleged victim. They'll make a phone call and they'll say, hey, I want to know why you did that to me. And sometimes people are completely thrown off by this call and they don't know why this allegation is being made, and they don't really understand what is being said because there's no context for it. And we definitely have represented people who have been completely thrown off, and their response is central to their life. That response, the 30-second response to that allegation, absolutely fundamentally can change their life. And if you make a misstatement, or if you say something which is not where you're not fully understanding what the question is, and they could later be used against you as a confession if your response is not something other than, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? I didn't do anything. So it's just important for you to know. It's important for you to think about that you have that, you're in that situation where you can invoke your right to counsel, and you can also, if you have a confrontation call, if someone's making that type of call, you have the right to hang up, of course. But be aware of the fact that's a technique that is used. It's a technique which is used by the police to basically have people drop their guard, and what they're looking for is they're looking for a confession. Sometimes the police will say, hey, come down to the station, submit to a polygraph. And their whole idea of doing the polygraph really isn't to do the polygraph, it's to have an interview. So the interview can take place either before or after the lie detector test. Again, they'll use all of their tools in their toolkit to try to get a confession out of you if they think that you are a suspect. So be aware of that. If you are facing this type of charge, understand that you have the right to counsel. You can always say, I want to speak with my attorney. There's nothing wrong in doing that. It can't be used against you. You can say, I want to speak with my attorney. If someone calls you, they're making an accusation, it's okay for you to hang up. Engaging with someone in that type of communication carries risk. So if you feel like you're under investigation, someone said something like this, be aware that you have the right to an attorney before you're charged. You can give us a call. We have a free consultation, 602-989-5000. Any sex case in Arizona, we're very, very experienced in these types of cases. We know what to look for, and we know how to help you. Thanks so much.